just told you to nick a van, Eddie, not a van full of boxes.
I didn't know, Turtle, honest.
Here is a newsflash. In tonight's bank robbery, police have confirmed the theft of safety deposit boxes whose contents are thought to be worth close to £1 million. All those concerned have been arrested, but the whereabouts of the boxes remains a mystery.
What's carnal knowledge, Uncle Turtle?
Ask your Uncle Eddie.
Having it off.
You know, a bit of silence are the best programme of the week. Sing along ashore. That is real public service television. Every thief in the country glued to his set. Right, they ought to make it longer, put it on and play so much of the day.
Good evening.
Thanks from the Eltham police on the bank robbery, which was one of last week's investigations. As a result of calls from viewers, 2 arrests have been made and a 3rd is imminent.
Yobbos from the Elephant. Amateurs.
It's good for business,
Now,
Eddie.
the
Keeps them
first
off the
this week's
streets.
investigation is a single-handed raid on a security van collecting takings from a Birmingham supermarket. Detectives are looking for a heavily built man with a Scottish accent who snatched a truncheon from a guard and broke it across his knee before banging the heads of the 3 other guards together.
Pick-handle jock.
It has to
The
be.
thief
I'm glad it's
escaped
working.
through back alleys on a delivery bicycle belonging to a local wine and spirit merchant.
Go on, my son.
And he got away with £3,000 and a case of malt whiskey.
That's Jock. It's a Port Home
Still
industry.
in the Birmingham area, and police have prepared a photo-fit impression of him. One
Look
eyewitness,
like this.
prison
Jock will
officer,
be pleased.
obviously must remain unidentified,
Nosy burp.
described the man's features as the only ones he's seen which could have been improved by a stocking. If you see this man, you know where he is now, please ring 2468021. 021 is the dialing code for the Birmingham area, and ask for the CID.
No.
And now further developments on the great safe deposit robbery, which is becoming
Way!
the mystery of the century. Have you seen this bracelet and brooch?
To be truthful, sure we have.
But we're not phoning anyone, sure?
Or this necklet and earrings? They belong to the prominent society hostess and charity organiser, Mrs. Elspeth Partington Jeffries, and they are valued at £200,000. The insurance reward will be substantial. These photographs have been circulated to all jewellers. I'd like you to take another look at them.
All right, sure.
There used to be a time when the English had a
The
reputation for
detective
fair
in
play.
charge of the investigation reckons they are the first real breakthrough. If any of those are offered to you on the cheap in suspicious circumstances, I would like you to ring this number, 012468007, and let me remind you of the 10% reward put up by the insurance assessor. As the detective said, this jewellery could be the thin end of the wedge that will help me put those responsible for the safe deposit robbery where they belong. Safely on deposit.
Safely on deposit. Ta-la, sure.
It's pretty hard Ethel's working. Never been on television before.
Uncle Walter was on once. Had a blanket over his head, though.
I think I've gone offshore, Taylor.
I never knew the insurance company had photographs.
Oh, yes. It was a condition of the new policy 3 years ago, when I was having to use it every month to raise new collateral.
Because you were undercharging. It was a lot of work.
And before you bailed me out.
Fingers crossed.
I'm almost as worried about the card index file. Well, that's what keeps us in business.
Charity perfectionism run riot.
The bank manager said you'd put 2 or 3 things in the day before.
Trivia. That's all.
Oh, William, you've never been trivial in your life.
Life. What there was of it, and that wasn't much. Oh, that's a cue for a song. Until there was you.
George, my boy.
Harry Antwerp, the jeweller that we know and love, only laughs when one of his relatives dies who doesn't owe him money.
I've just watched Police 5.
Yeah, well, we weren't amused.
Serious professional programme. Break appointments to stay in and watch. Tonight, funnier than the cartoons.
Why? We were on it.
And I was looking at the swag they showed. 200,000. My grandmother's recipe for chicken soup. It's paste. Good paste. So I get this new American process for synthetic diamonds. But 5,000 as costume jewellery is top weight. If you can sell it after all this advertising.
But she's a society hostess.
And laughing. She's flogged the originals. Now the insurance company pays up again. She cops twice for the same flash. We should all be society hostesses.
Junk.
No, my boy. Imitation.
It's fraudulent.
Just like the rest of the world. Now this is different. This is real.
Oh, well, that's better. Now, what's that lot worth?
Still nothing. All this amusement is giving me indigestion.
If that is real, why can't we collect on it?
It's the stuff from the Lady Greystones robbery last year. On every hot list in the country, with double reward and colour picture sheet. Keep it in the refrigerator for maybe 5 years, then break it up and try perhaps South America. Because you're regular customers, I'll bring you a copy of the hot list and nobody offers me a cup of tea, Eve.
George, put a kettle on for Mr. Antwerp. And find some sort of restorative for your Uncle Eddie and myself. That army rum. Colour Sergeant Arnold's bayonet juice.
Last time you drank that, you had to go to the dentist.
I don't care.
Never mind, Turtle. It's not your fault there are crooked people about.
I know, Eddie. Thanks. I mean, every business has its setbacks.
I could get addicted to watering holes as plush as this. But not on a policeman's wages.
I like it.
You should. Access to brandy in a private office, courtesy of a manager.
I'm only a simple insurance investigator.
It was just enabled me to sink my appreciative choppers into a tornado's Rossini the size of a small bolster, and would now like some information in exchange. Simple you are not, Mr. Gordon. The Partington Jeffries box.
My company insured it.
And your bonus for its recovery would be substantial.
Well, it's only money. The whole job interests me.
All right, let's hoist this up the flagpole and see if any sparrows nest in it. We've got a list of box depositors, and some of the names are false.
Well, some people are naturally secretive.
Especially if they're handed wads of cash money without benefit of inland revenue. Say for freelance insurance work, when the premiums aren't up to date.
Sounds unethical.
Ethos. It's from the Greek. Means character or morals.
I'm short on both.
I know.
And a great admirer of Swiss number-only bank accounts. Just the Partington Jeffries box super. If you'll accept private help.
Well, as expert as yours, snap your hand off. You don't have my understaffing problems, and I don't have your 5-figure incentive. Just don't forget to pass on anything you find out.
Oh, Superintendent,
You've
would
been
I?
known to do the odd private deal with thieves.
Rumour.
Fact.
All right.
You know the niggle? When a factor you can't explain or justify keeps cropping up.
Only too well.
Well, this one is Turtle and Razor Eddie Malone.
Fringe artists. Small time. Don't see it.
Nor do I. Perhaps I'm just overcome by the fumes of the Crepe Suzette.
I'll take a long look anyway.
Mr. Corton, I know all about your SAS connections and your black belt. I wear braces myself. But if you go up against Razor Eddie the hard way, take a platoon of your ex-colleagues and a tank,
I've heard of Eddie.
We could try and punt this fake stuff abroad. Real abroad. Not Hounslow. Some frog jeweller with bad eyesight and no police photographs.
Billy's suitcase. We done a billet all on the Broadway. Only smuggler we know.
No, his dog's not been well.
What's the dog got to do with it?
That's the way Billy works. Suitcase full of the genuine loot, dog under his overcoat. He lets the dog go and everybody runs after it because of this disease.
Rapist.
Rabies, your one-track band. And Billy ambles through with a suitcase and the dog swims the channel back home.
His neighbour always gives it a good feed and a rub down when it gets back.
I can swim.
You wouldn't fit under Billy's overcoat. No, let me think.
Try the insurance company for the reward.
It'd be like a signed confession. No, we might as well buy our own handcuffs.
I suppose.
No. The best thing is to find a society hostess and negotiate. She can have her dud flashback, and we'll take a commission.
Logical.
We better try and get into this, see what else we can sell her.
Well, I'm aware of your company's interest in the recovery of my jewellery, Mr. Corton. But surely you might have obtained my permission before having it shown on television.
We'd stand a better chance of getting it back. Nah, they'll just break it up.
You sound very knowledgeable about it, Mr. Nesbit.
No, it's just common sense. And a concern for the fact that some of the settings are unique.
The thieves might know this too, of course. They may try and negotiate with you direct. They'll use the insurance reward as a basic figure. If they do, get in touch with me. Something can be arranged.
I'm sure it can. And I'm sure your company would rather pay 10% to thieves than the full value to me.
Well, wouldn't you?
God.
Elspeth,
I know I can wait. Advertise in the personal column so I can pray. I think I'll do all three.
Really, I'm not complaining. It's the formal necessity of business practice.
Formal necessity.
As your accountant, I'm impressed by the simplicity of your business. 5 operatives.
What? They're all on a good wage. It's a contributory pension fund.
Secretarial work kept to an absolute minimum, even if the handwriting is rather strange.
Oh, that's George. He went to a comprehensive.
Sometimes.
Steady and considerable source of income.
Which we hope to maintain.
But you must realize that I am being badgered rather by my partners. Not to mention the authorities, as to the source of this income. But I realize that as security consultants, you can run your business on a rather informal basis. But every business must have customers. You don't appear to have any. None at all.
Sometimes they're a bit slow with the paperwork.
I do wish you'd have a word. I'm going to have to draw up a set of accounts. Soon.
Customers? Where do we find customers?
Oh, it's a treadmill, Eddie. It's decision after decision. Excuse me. I'm looking for Herbie cauliflowers.
Out of the way, Shorty. Park your pot belly somewhere else.
John, how would you like me to squeeze you between 2 cases of apples until cider squirts out your ears?
I wouldn't. Sorry, Mush, I thought you were from the public health.
Not really. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
He wants Herbie cauliflowers.
Well, he's not working today. He's at a general meeting of the Fruit and Vegetable External Retailers Association.
On the waterfront moves inland.
I could give him a message.
Tell him I'd like a mutually profitable conversation. Turtle.
Turtle.
That's it.
Better for your teeth than rum. What's it about then, Turtle?
Customers, Eddie. Supply and demand.
I'm looking for Turtle and Razor Eddie.
Can't say I've heard of either of them.
Aunt Ethel, you didn't even blush when you said that. Turtle did a couple of jobs for me.
Oh, you're the insurance fellow paid on time. See, why didn't you say so? And to think I'll let you give me money for that drink.
Well, I'll have the refill on the landlord.
They may not be in till tonight. They work regular hours.
And now I've heard everything.
Not a good class of greyhound at this time of year.
It's the same with commodity prices. Herbie!
Got round as soon as the meeting ended. Bunch of Soho puffs. Couldn't give grapefruit away.
Hello, Herbie.
Yeah, class sort of drum you got here, Turtle. Borrowed?
No. It's a 5-year lease. And the rates have just gone up. Shocking.
You're breaking my heart.
Glass of sherry?
Only at funerals. When everything else has run out.
Security consultants.
Saw the sign. Thought it was a mistake.
Cheers, Eddie.
Well, the word come across about conversation and profit.
It's amalgamation of interests. You're chairman of the Benton Street Traders Association, right?
As was my father before me.
Nearly 90 barrows.
And the best vegetable produce you can buy wholesale or nick in the south of London.
Lock-up stores, etc., etc.
All padlocked.
Valuable. Now, the association should engage the services of a security firm.
The association has some quite heavy geezers amongst it.
Primitive, Herbie.
Yeah, the dustmen are the worst. Greedy. You thump them when they've got their hand out for too much and they go on strike. The sanitary geezers blame us.
It's all overheads these days, isn't it?
Oh, well, I like the chat. Now, where's the profit?
Here. Now, your traders pay us £30 a week each.
They wouldn't pay that for their own coffins.
This is the point, they don't have to. All we want is customers for the books. Now, we send them an invoice through you marked paid in full.
Oh, well, that's one end of the favour. Oh, where's the other?
You, as chairman of the association, receive from this firm 100 in use onces every week.
Privately?
Of course. To disperse the dustman or across the counter at the Robin.
You're on.
Our fees are tax deductible to your members.
But my lot pay tax. They'd have seizures first. We've already put 3 district inspectors in institutions. All barking mad.
Yes, well, I'll telephone our accountant with the good news. Yeah, I wonder if we should send out a press release. No, perhaps not.
Well, obviously my main worry is the jewellery, but I'm almost as keen to have the rest back.
The card file index.
Oh, yes. 7 or 8 years' work. Research, private knowledge kept updated.
Madam, I'm often baffled, and this is one of the times. You'll have to explain, and I'm best with short words, repeated if necessary.
Well, I organise functions.
For a fee?
Oh, minimum £2,000. To do this, I need a guest list. Celebrities and connections. Need to know the big fish who attract the little fish. The Debrett dolly to put next to the self-made Leicester millionaire. Or the right multinational director to seat opposite a sensitive ambassador.
It sounds quite an art.
Oh, it is. The peers of the realm who can't be trusted with Lebanese wine waiters. The countesses who advertise couturier clothes for a discount. The merchant bankers who have separate pads in Belgravia. Oh, and the grand ladies from the shires who wear a hairpiece, so never put them near a strong draught.
All homework. Mrs. Partington Jeffries, I'm impressed.
And setting up a function takes more working capital than you'd expect, if only in deposits. The organisers pay you, of course, but often it's later rather than sooner.
A friend is a hospital governor. He tells me you're the best.
I try to be. I take a fee and legitimate admin expenses and cream off nothing. Not like some of them. One of these days, Superintendent, you and I must have a long and leisurely lunch. And we'll talk about the charity racket.
I'd like that. I might even buy it.
Put it down to informers' expenses. Now, I was lucky. I had a couple of rough years and then some help.
Which you pass on. We're not very good at opening card file boxes. If we find it, you'll get it back intact and discreetly unexamined.
Oh.
I only wish some of the other box holders were as forthcoming. Well, you'd be surprised how many of those tins just contain sentimental snippings of grandchildren's hair.
Oh, William. Superintendent Rafferty. William Nesbitt, friend, factotum manager, and,
I've never needed the small print.
How's it progressing?
Backwards, mostly.
I'll see you out, Superintendent.
Yeah, good idea. I might pinch the lift doors.
I'm off to work now, my lamb. Here's £1, and your Uncle George will take you down the tip shop later.
Mum, don't give him money. He'll only spend it on cigars like last time. And why do I have to look after him?
Mrs. Thorpe's at the town hall on this course of unarmed combat for defenceless women. Somebody told her it was unladylike to hit people with a pint mug.
Hey, went up to the policeman yesterday and he chose the nearest boozer. He said, you're looking at him. Yeah, not before time either.
Yeah, you did. You said you did. You said I went up the policeman. He said, have you seen the nearest boozer? And he said, you're looking at him.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers. Right. As chairman of this General Purposes Committee, I hereby announce that it will meet every Thursday henceforth at the present venue.
Well, shall we vote on it?
No.
What for?
To affix the signatures of our 90 members, using their right name wherever possible, to these invoices. All right?
On a point of order, Brother Chair, I would like to propose this act's unconstitutional. What's this Guaranteed Security Inc.?
Turtle and Razor Eddie.
Oh, is that the big fella and the curly one who were asking for you?
Yes.
Where do I sign?
There.
Naffy.
Now, in acknowledgement of the time you are devoting to the well-being of your colleagues, I further announce that all drink will be free.
Oh, go ahead.
But that any disbursements for such items as pickled eggs, Cornish pasties or bacon-flavoured crisps will be down to the individual committee punters. All right?
All right.
Here. Right,
Did you hear the
let
one
the
about...
bevy up commence.
Yeah, all right.
I was going to open those tomorrow.
Took it down a chip shop for safety like you told me, and Jason found an hairpin on the floor and got into it.
That child is going to be tried and found guilty of a capital offence as soon as he's legally old enough.
It's just a lot of old cards.
Yeah, but a lot of information on him. It's about people with 3 hyphens or a title that you can invite to society junk ups for charity. And he won't steal the gold bath taps. Oh, sorry, some of them will.
I saw this picture the other day called the Gold Goddess. If any man touched her, she'd turn into precious metal. I left before it finished.
You would.
Did you know that the squash-playing father of 6, editor of Britain's best-known fashion magazine, wears corsets?
Probably gets a lot of free samples that don't fit his wife.
Or that the commercial attaché of a well-known European country carries purpose-made thimbles so that he can pinch waitresses' bottoms efficiently?
Well, I don't reckon that myself. I mean, they could tip soup down your neck. Or worse.
Matter of national pride, I suppose. It's all custom.
Uncle Turtle, why has this card got a pinhole in the corner?
Where?
Look, if you don't believe me, hold it up to the light.
Mrs. Billowser Graves?
Eric, the drum's last job. 50,000 sparklers.
Go through the rest, Hawkeye. Now, look, if you can find any more, I'll let you open a credit account at the Alabama Authentic Hamburger Parlour. Yes, I remember you now. He went on 3 package tours on the road to Torremolinos.
Took his wife on one of them.
The right on Henrietta Darcy Fawkes.
They hit Reggie Drainpipe for that, with the gear on him.
And then sent him down for 3 without the option. Yeah. I thought it was unfair at the time. I mean, he left the place tidy. Any more, George?
Only one.
Lady Greystones, whose baubles are resting comfortably in our possession.
Baubles?
That's jewellery, George.
I wasn't certain for a minute.
It's textbook. That's probably where they got it. Calculated larcenies, classical.
Why?
Oh, it stands to reason. It's a high-class society raver. Champagne flowing in a good cause, liveried flunkies, chance to tango with Mark Phillips.
Prince Charles, even.
Well, it's the same thing. Have toothbrush, will travel. Yes. All the jewellery comes out of the bank vaults. The geezer, or geezeress who makes these pinholes, knows where to point our colleagues with the light-fingered ladders, and when.
I thought these jug-ups were supposed to be for charity, Turtle.
Charity belongs at home for Mrs. Partington Jeffries. I think we'd better nip along and see her. Now, tea time would be best. I mean, they always have tea.
Might even offer us a cup. Mightn't they?
May I let you know, Your Grace, the function you have in mind is rather elaborate, and I wouldn't want our other commitments to interfere with it. Yes, in a day or so. Certainly. Goodbye, Your Grace. Other commitments. Ha! Sitting around waiting.
What was it?
Function for 400 at Felsted Park, 100 guineas a head. Silk-lined marquees, sprung dance floor, chartered helicopters, a name band and 2 groups. Menu devised by the chef of the Tour d'Argent. Oh, why go on? It would cost about 40,000 just to set up in deposits.
We'd get it back.
Oh, in about 6 months. The English aristocracy hold the world record for slow payment.
We could try the bank. Fix a loan.
With what as collateral? Once I could have used the jewels.
I could try to raise the 40.
Oh, no. Oh, darling. No. You got me out of suicidal trouble once, God knows how. I can't expect it twice. If only the bloody insurance company would either find the money or pay up.
Yes, you're looking very prosperous, Turtle. You too, Eddie.
Are we? We've been to a wedding up west. Eddie's feet are killing him.
I was an usher.
Drink?
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go and see a couple of strippers in Chelsea. I know. That's it. Yeah.
What's the problem, Mr. Courtney?
The usual. In the past, certain illegal ladder climbers have lifted gear insured by my company. You have acted as intermediaries to get the gear back. You, me, the climbers, and my company have all profited. I'm now chief investigator, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Turtle, you've always had 3 ears, and all of them close to the ground.
One of the advantages of my particular physique. Eddie deals with anything about 4'6".
Yeah, I heard about the debate at the Goldilocks Club. When he threw 5-ace Ernie over the top of a number 11 bus.
I didn't know the driver had stopped for a tea break.
What's the job, Mr. Cole?
Spread your antennae for a safe deposit box. You know about it?
Vaguely. The vault was said to be impregnable.
It was. Felons breaking stones on Dartmoor to prove it. But no boxes.
After any particular box, Mr. Corton?
The one belonging to Mrs. Partington Jeffries.
Partington Jeffries? I better write that down.
See, my company's already taken 1 real jewellery hammer in this financial year, Eddie. And my bonus can't afford another.
Sorry to hear that. Which one was that?
Lady Greystones. Some crafty lad ripped her off for the original sort of rocks. Sort that belong in Johannesburg museums.
They're not replaceable.
One piece was a wedding present to the Duke of Wellington.
You'll be fed up.
What put you on to us, Mr. Corn, just as a matter of interest?
Superintendent Rafferty.
Good policeman. Fond of goldfish.
Keep in touch, then. Be lucky.
Good try.
Rafferty. And Corbin. Who is nobody's primrose.
If I had the use of my legs, I'd start running. If I knew where to run to. Squashed in there. Might have sent us a car each.
Economising as usual.
Public suffers.
Sit down. Sit down. I only wanted to chat.
Well, it didn't look like it. One telephone call and we'd have been here. In a taxi, at our own expense.
In comfort.
There was no need for a police car with a siren at full blast and buttons bursting into the robin.
I thought it might impress the neighbours. And you're here on hard sus.
Suspicion of what? It's not in the next Miss World, is it?
A Birmingham police officer is willing to testify he saw you two in that man's company.
Oh, if I were you, Mr. Rafferty, I'd ask for a report on this officer's eyesight.
Just a thought.
Can we go now?
No. You've also been seen with an insurance investigator. Name of Alex Corton.
Yeah, well, you should know.
Now, Mr. Corton's a very rough player. He's nearly as rough as Eddie.
Me?
Yeah, you. I recall a fracas where you hit a motorcycle policeman on his helmet. He was out for 2 hours.
Some other fella.
Mr. Corton has a habit of recovering stolen property and forgetting to tell us where he found it. If he comes up with anything, you'll let me know, won't you?
No, Superintendent. Green we may be. Grasses we are not.
Best place to try is Kew Gardens.
Just chatting. What are you two doing for rent money these days?
We're legitimate businessmen.
And I'm appearing in La Traviata at Covent Garden, the soprano part.
Oh, yeah?
Ask our accountant. Here's her card.
The same practice my brother uses for his merchant bank. Hello, Miss Goodliff. Superintendent Rafferty here.
One of the banking Raffertys?
Yes, that's right. He's my brother. I'm looking into the background of a firm called Guaranteed Security, Inc. I wonder if...
This company is administered as a public service by persons of the highest integrity who have just been awarded a major security contract which, in my opinion, draws attention to the laxity of the local police. I can vouch for this company's financial viability, and I'm astonished that someone of your experience should attempt to breach the confidentiality between accountant and client. Good day to you.
Gentlemen, I am rising with the respect which befits a man who's just witnessed the first showing of the 8th wonder of the world. A police car will take you to any destination you name. You may use the siren or not as you wish. I'm only sorry I don't have one which plays the Alleluia chorus.
But they're always at the office. Uncle Turtle and Uncle Eddie can't have done anything.
They haven't, but can they prove it? Did they let you out on bail?
We parted with Superintendent Rafferty on the best of terms.
You can't trust policemen, not like the old days. I'll make you a nice cup of weak tea.
Thanks, Aunt Ethel. I must have left my brains behind. Rafferty sprouts search warrants like other people grow hairs in their ears. The boxes. We need a plan. We need a head start on Grease Lightning.
I could nail the front door shut.
Yeah. No, that's not enough, Eddie. It's just a delaying tactic. George, get up to the attic and bring the boxes down.
I'm wearing my disco suit.
You'll be wearing the flat in my hand in a minute.
Aunt Ethel, you'll have to go and see Mrs. Thorpe. Ask her if we can store a few oddments in her attic.
Oh, I don't know. She's very house-proud.
Yes, but she's only 5 doors away. Tell her we'll pay her 50 a week storage. Make her guineas, it's more businesslike.
She can be even more house-proud on that.
She's dead inquisitive, Turtle.
Yeah, I know. If they'd had a thing as pointed as Mrs. Thorpe's nose, North Sea oil would have been discovered 5 years earlier. We just have to brick the boxes in. Look, you go and find Horace Mortimer, my lamb. And look, if you're back in 5 minutes, I'll give you a nice big drink of gin. Aunt Ethel, you'll have to keep her talking. Ask her to demonstrate a flying drop kick. Or show you the photos of Mr. Thorpe on a prison football team.
That's no problem. It's stopping it that's difficult.
Now, the box is at the office. Rafferty's got the address there. It was you that rabbited the caretaker. What's he like?
Quiet sort of geezer. Plays the euphonium for the Salvation Army. Straight as the 6 furlongs at Newmarket.
Oh, he's out then. Except for a chorus of Abide With Me.
What about that big old safe in McCluskey's scrapyard?
Eddie, that is a working stroke of near genius.
No, it's just sometimes I bump into it on the shortcut home.
Oh, that's only when you're well bevied. Listen, can you handle the boxes at the office?
Easy, nick a van.
Hire one, Eddie.
Sorry, I forgot. But that safe's got no lock on it and it weighs 3 tons. We'll never be able to move it.
Nor will anybody else. Ha! Yeah, I'll go and find Herman the torch. Yes, we'll load the boxes in. He can weld the safe shut, and I'll label it dangerous chemicals. I sometimes wish banks were more reliable. Look, when we've done all this, we'll have done all we can, except have it away on our toes furtive and lurk in Nellie's caff until it's time to see Mrs. Partington Jeffries.
Never mind, Turtle. Perhaps we can have a day off tomorrow, eh?
Yes, Detective Sergeant Tolland, I know this is your early night and you've recently taken up bridge. You'll just have to get yourself dealt in as dummy and hope nobody will notice the difference. You will instead pick up one of the warrants I've had issued, bend in plausibility slightly, it wasn't the usual magistrate, and turn over Turtle's so-called office. Me, I'll be done in Fulham, ransacking his gaff from roof slate to damp course. And if there's laminated tiles on the kitchen floor, I'll prise them apart to see if they contain currency. And you do the same with his commercial abode. Yeah, all right, point taken, Sergeant. It's my night off as well. But you don't have a wife whose mother is reheating Toad in the Hole.
Good afternoon.
We're the company that telephoned you a minute ago.
From a coin box.
It's not our usual practice.
Mostly they don't work.
It's about some jewellery you might be interested in.
You said insurance. Jewelry. Interested in. It belongs to me, and you have the nerve to walk up to the front door.
Yes, well, I couldn't reach the bottom of the downstairs fire escape.
And I didn't want to come up with me own.
William, I think you'd better telephone the police.
Willie Chad. Everybody said you were in Australia.
I was. I couldn't stand the licensing hours. How's your luck, Turtle?
Fair. Improving. Like yours.
Not at the moment.
He called you Willie Chat. Your name's Nesbit.
Yes, and even that's my mother's maiden name. I'll sort this out, Elspeth. Believe me, I know how.
Not without me here.
I'd rather you weren't.
I'm staying.
And the noise you'll hear will be that of a crystal glass shattering. Nobody is ever capable of collecting the splinters and putting perfection back together.
Lovely turn of phrase.
Willie Chat, he does it for a living. If this is a family argument, we can come back.
No. About 3 years ago, a medium successful con man came out of prison on a false pretenses sentence. He headed for where he got his one good suit stashed and borrowed enough money to get his haircut repaired and buy a round of drinks.
Sounds the wrong way round to me. Sorry.
He went to an expensive hotel where he found a drunken lady weeping. He took the overdose from a handbag and listened.
To a recital of debts. 50,000 to a property magnate who wanted to buy a piece of the honours list and went bankrupt instead, without paying my bills.
The so-called yeoman farmer thought he could become Lord Lieutenant if he spent enough in the public good, and he died owing you 80,000, and his heirs refused to acknowledge the debt.
All the maggots in the white sleep at black night with the sun in your eyes.
I used to think that charity was just rattling collecting boxes and Boy Scouts counting sacks of pennies.
I remember. I remember scrambled eggs.
Yeah, that was all I could cook. So I went to Amsterdam, conned hard men into giving me 170,000 for the jewellery. And then I had good imitations made.
You could have kept going with the money. You came back with wild strawberries.
Yes. I wanted to make sure it wouldn't happen again.
Why? How?
Yeah, you can't ask me, madam. And if someone wants to go straight, you never ask personal questions.
Sort of private, see?
What's the deal, Turtle?
You can have your card index back free of charge. Much as I enjoyed reading it during the long winter nights. What about the jewellery?
If I put it in a cement bucket and deep six it in a pit of gravel, we collect 200 grand from the insurance company. Your share's market rate, 20%. Not the 2 you get from Alex Courtney.
Well, that's fraud. To which I would be an accomplice.
It's your choice.
What do you think?
No, you can't ask me, madam. I mean, I once interfered in a domestic altercation and was struck with a handbag containing a 4-pound jar of cold cream. Harry Antwerp said 5G for the dud flash. Makes us 15G ahead.
It's all wages.
We accept your proposition, Mr. Nesbitt. Amicably and quietly.
It's all there, Turtle. My share from only the drum.
Yeah, and I've got manners enough not to count it until I'm in the street. What about the Lady Greystones?
Oh, it's unsellable. Forget it. I've tried everywhere. Use a cement bucket. 2 hits, 1 miss. I'm not using the pinholes anymore. We've got the stake. Greystone's flash is your responsibility now.
It's the story of my life these days. Keep chatting, Willie.
Luck.
I'm sorry, love. Wits and conniving. All I've got.
Willie Chat. Gone straight?
Nice young men you got working for you. Put everything back in its place. Even dusted after them. Save me spring cleaning.
I'm glad about that, Mrs. Wagstaff. Lovely cup of tea. How's that husband of yours?
I haven't heard. Probably in solitary again.
Oh. Right, that'll be for me. Yeah, Rafferty. Yes, Sergeant Holland. Yeah? Yeah. So, the office is completely clean except for a complete set of time form and bound copies of The Economist. Say again? There is, however, a strange noise from the basement, which you take to be a euphonium. Thank you, Sergeant Tolland. It's details like that which help me to preserve my fragile hold on sanity.
I had to pay for these. Shameful. It's Aunt Ethel's night off. My pleasure. I didn't expect to hear so soon. You must have been reading these business efficiency magazines.
He is.
What have you got?
The Partington Jeffries swag is in South America.
Source?
Mr. Courtney, if we told people everything we know, we'd have permanent sore throats.
I'll buy the lozenges, make an exception.
For you? Billy's suitcase. He was offered a job, but he only likes short journeys.
Until he gets a bigger dog. Oh, well. There goes my holiday in the Bahamas.
Not necessarily. Another source could concede that we worked the hours. Pointed us in the direction of the glitter that used to hang round Lady Greystone's neck.
Who?
Oh, he's nervous in strange company.
Where?
Here.
The McCoy. Harvest Festival.
He's sensitive to noise, this geezer. How quiet?
Graveyard. That includes Superintendent Rafferty.
He must get tired of people talking to him anyway.
The Flash is underinsured at 250,000, and there's a double reward. 50. 20 Thowey's way, 30 mine, plus the glory.
Yeah, I think he'd agree to that. And all he wants is peace and quiet.
I find a phone, the money can be here in half an hour.
It's over there on the wall.
Here's tuppence. What made you think of that, Turtle?
Don't know where to find a gravel pit. Oh, I hope Miss Goodliff doesn't want an invoice.
Once more with feeling, I will try once again. I will try to explain myself to you. I may be down, but you know I've been around. And every time I've seen those gray skies turn to blue. It's tough at the top, but rougher at the bottom, and positively boring in between. I don't lose my head I just try to make some bread and get to places that I have never been. Eventually, some good luck will come along. Eventually, I'll get it right instead of wrong. Because I know that one fine day, Lady Luck will call and say, Mr. Muggins, Mr. Muggins, Mr. Muggins.